Farhat, who's the Associate Professor of Conflict Resolution at the Doha Institute, joins us right here on set. So, Ibrahim, first up, we just heard that impassioned plea from the Palestine Red Crescent, asking for international help, asking for the international community to step in, with 14,000 people there at Alquds Hospital being told to move, but staying put, the doctors staying put. Will the international community do anything?
Well, first of all, let's agree that the threats to bomb Alquds Hospital should be taken very seriously. We have plenty of evidence to support that Israel has done it in the past with Al-Ahli Hospital and with several other civilian targets that hit in Gaza and even before in the West Bank. So we have plenty of evidence that the history shows that Israel has done it. And there is no reason to believe that Israel will not do it now. So there is an opportunity now for the international community and the Western leaders in particular is to prevent this and to intervene in the right place. They know about it. They are informed. There is a plea from everyone that Israel will do it, and they should step in and try to prevent such a disaster with 14,000 people being in Alquds Hospital.
But that means stepping in right now, doesn't it?
Exactly right now. And also, Israel has given also other additional signs of bombing around the hospital. So there is no justification for the U.S. administration, for the Biden administration to say that they were surprised or they didn't know about it, or that Israel did not do it. They justified it the first time on Al-Ahli Hospital, and they can't get away with the second one either. But let me here stop on the actually Jake Sullivan's statements, that he was making the statements at the end of his interview.
He was talking to the Sunday shows in the United States.
Exactly. Yeah. And he was saying that at the end, this is their war, referring to Israel. This is their war. This is their operations, and they know what they're doing. And what Jake Sullivan is trying to do here, he is trying to save himself and the rest of the U.S. administration. But no, actually, this cannot be the case, because even...
You mean he's trying to offset the blame, just saying, look, this has nothing to do with us, it's Israel's war and they must take care of it the way they see fit.
Exactly. So he's trying to save himself and the rest of the Biden administration by referring that this is not ours, this is theirs, this is Israel's, right? In order to distance himself from whatever that's going to happen. He is the national security advisor. He is in an official position, and he is the right, Jake Sullivan is the right person to pick up the phone and call Israel, the Israeli government, and raise concerns and prevent them. And he's the only one who can do that, Jake Sullivan. And if he doesn't do it, and if this happens, he personally, Jake Sullivan, should be held responsible and accountable for this, because he knew about it. There is plenty of signs available that Israel would do it, and he knew about all of this in his position as National Security Advisor, and he is not doing anything to stop it. So that's why he is complicit, and he should be held accountable for it.
But even if he did, would Israel listen?
Israel does listen to the United States. Actually, the only party that the Israel listens to is the U.S. administration. It does not listen to any other party in the world. And actually, because Israel is enabled by the protection that it's receiving from the Biden administration, it's doing all what it's doing. So this is I totally disagree with Jake Sullivan. This is his war. It's not only Israel's war. It's his. It's the crimes that are committed are also committed because of his protection and because of his support to this fascist government, the Israeli government in Israel, that's conducting and all these operations in Gaza and committing the ethnic cleansing and the war crimes that it's committing. And when this war is over, there will be many trials, and there will be legal pursuing of all these involved in this war from all sides, not to exempt any side. All sides, of those are involved in war crimes and crimes against the humanity. The bombing of Al-Ahli Hospital, that the New York Times also indirectly, at least indirectly, blamed Israel for it. It's a war crime that should be held accountable at the end and be given, the right pursuit after when this war is over. And Jake Sullivan should be prepared and preparing himself for questions and for answers when this war is over.
How do you think the prisoners on both sides, how does that fit into the mix? We heard earlier from Hamas saying that they're ready to do a prisoner swap on a large scale for the Palestinian prisoners for those that are captive in Gaza. Can you see that happening? And how might this whole arena of the prisoners affect things?
In principle, I think it's possible, but it's very difficult. And if this is going to happen, what's going to cause it to happen? It's the domestic pressure that the Israeli government is receiving from the prisoners' families that are protesting day and night, non-stop, and also being supported by positions by former government officials like Shaul Mofaz, who supported such a full swap of prisoners between Israelis and Palestinians. So because of this support, because of this pressure that the Israeli government is receiving, so the possibility exists. But I can assure you, if it's left to the Israeli government itself, we have seen that it didn't care, because they bombed every single place in Gaza, knowing that their prisoners are there, but they didn't care, and they did not take any precautions to prevent even the killing of their own prisoners. So that's why I think the pressure domestically and internationally should be exerted even more on this government to stop the war crimes that it's doing in Gaza at the moment.
Ibrahim, thank you for that. Ibrahim Vrayat here in the studio. Thank you. All right, still ahead here on Al Jazeera.